As many as 80,000 workers at the VA are now the next targets of the Trump administration's efforts to dramatically shrink the size of the federal government. Some of those workers losing their jobs work in the St. Louis metro.
Our Russell Kinsall got mixed reaction from veterans about the potential impacts on their health care. He's live in Midtown for us, Russell.
Yeah, thousands of veterans get their health care through the VA. We're at the John Cochran VA Medical Center in Midtown on Grand. So today we heard concern from employees inside. We also heard concern from some veterans worried that the job cuts could affect services, make it harder to get a doctor's appointment. Overall, though, reaction from veterans was mixed.
It does concern me.
Charles Quarles is a Vietnam War veteran who gets health care at the VA Medical Center. He's just learning about the coming job cuts, as many as 80,000 nationwide.
There will be less workers and less services.
He's concerned about the potential impact on health care at the VA Medical Center and the ability to even get an appointment.
It's tough enough now, without a shortage, and then we get, I believe, decent service, but this is not going to make it any better.
According to an internal memo, the Department of Veterans Affairs is planning to reduce its total workforce of 482,000 employees by 80,000. The union representing many of those workers is worried about how laid-off workers will pay their bills.
That's very disheartening. It's also very sickening because we have some very good federal workers here, as well as about like 80% are veterans that's here, and that's their livelihood.
Democratic U.S. Congressman from Missouri, Wesley Belt, says the current administration doesn't value federal workers, many of whom at the VA are veterans.
And so we're going to do everything we can to treat our federal workers, especially our veterans, with the dignity and respect that they deserve. And we're going to continue to fight for their jobs.
Military veteran Shauna Edelman says the job cuts need to be done selectively.
There are lots of places that they say that, there's not enough people to service all of the veterans, and then there's probably other places that's where maybe the cuts need to happen.
If there is fraud, waste, and abuse, James Edelman, also a veteran, says it needs to be eliminated.
As long as it's not impacting the veterans that are coming here and getting their services and things like that.
So the AFGE union is holding a rally to raise awareness. That's tomorrow from 6 to 8. It's in the Westport area at the Communications Workers of America Union Hall. Also tomorrow, starting in the morning at 11, there's a job fair primarily focused on federal workers being held by the state of Illinois, primarily for laid-off workers from the federal government. That's going to be at the SIU campus starting at 11. We've got more information about where and when, the particulars on that on our website, firstalert4.com. Live in Midtown, Russell Kinsall, First Alert 4.
Some good information there, Russell. Thank you. And in the last half hour, Illinois Representative Mike Bost, who is the chairman of the Veterans Affairs Committee, sent us a statement saying, quote, "I will work with our entire Republican conference, our colleagues in the Senate, and the administration to ultimately put veterans back at the core of VA's mission," end quote. Missouri lawmakers